Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about demons and shinobis, and this is going to be my last episode of this year. Yeah, so anyway, let's continue on with this episode, shall we, ladies and gents? So we will continue on from last episode, as we currently see now Todoroki summoning in her demon, or at least one of her demons, specifically that of Vivian, as Vivian would start using her signature ability known as Teardrop, as she would slice towards the now monstrous Dogen, as she would slice him right in the face, causing him to be frozen in place. Well, half of him at least, half of his body, where I guess you could say that has the snake and the fly-like head, as they would be frozen. But as for his middle head, the one that resembles like a demon, would start screaming out, "How dare you!" he would say, as he would try to get out of there. As before he can, the Todoroki would jump in, as she would say, "Take this!" As she would grab on both of her swords, as she would say, "Take this!" As she would rush towards him, as she would say, "Frost Flash!" As after saying these words, a blast of both fire and ice would destroy the entire, would basically blind them. As while doing so, everybody had to cover their eyes. Well, except for, Izuku and the rest of his, team. As currently, we would currently see him also watching the fight as well, as he would say to himself, "Alright, we got him," he would say, as he would summon in one of his other demons, specifically that of summoning out the demon that resembles that of a man, wielding that of a knife, as he's coming out of some sort of meteorite. Also, by the way, though I didn't get him in the game, at least I gotten something better. In fact, it's a lot better. Oh god. I was actually meant to try and roll him, but at least I got something better. Something with actual fortify. Except for, Osiris, but still. As the demon would be revealed, as Izuku would say this, "Now, destroy him, Mithras." As after saying his name, Mithras would say, "Now you shall pay for the sin of genocide," he would say, as he would wield up his blade, as light and fire would slowly start appearing right on the knife, as he would scream out, "Mark of punishment!" As after saying these words, both holy, or at least kind of holy, and fire magic would burst out of nowhere and rush towards Dogen demon form, or just Dogen. Wait for a second. As after doing so, Dogen's body would slowly start rotting away, as it would reveal his somewhat normal-ish human form. And I mean somewhat, as his body would still be somewhat resembling that of the, of Yotevate, with little horns on his head, and still somewhat insectile, body parts and other such animalistic, almost chimeric style body parts around him. As he would say, "How?" he would say, as Izuku would say this, "You thought that you can beat me just because you have my old enemy's power? How arrogant," he would say. As after saying these words, he would say, "Now, to pay for your crimes," he would say. As after saying these words, he would rush towards him. As before he would use a ninja technique, specifically just a simple smoke bomb. As when he did so, it caused Izuku to basically cough up and would say, "Wanda!" as he would look up and would see him running away, as he would say, "Damn it!" as he would start rushing after him as well. And as for the rest of Team A, or should I say Izuku's team, as you would say, "Let's go follow him, let's go, okay? As after saying these words, Bakugo would basically jump into the air and would start using not really his he would start using his sort of like explosive gauntlets, but because he has a limited supply of like a nitroglycerin, you can probably guess how limited he has to use them to like transport himself. So he would start flying up into the air or using his explosions, as he would start running up the building as well, with the rest of the others coming by as well. Mostly total, you know, mostly like Kirishima deciding to like, I guess you could say, let's just say flying with style, as in basically jumping so high that he looks like he's flying. As for, Uraka, she would summon out her demon known as Gabriel, as she would start flying off as well. And as for Todoroki, Todoroki would just go on the ground and basically start running after Dogen as well. The rest of the ninja ghosts would say, should we help him? As Kiryu would say, yes. As after saying these words, all of the girls would start following after them. But as while they were leaving, a few more people would arrive. As one of them would say, so these are the powers of demons? Well, this is actually quite interesting. Said a somewhat interested voice. Another would say, yeah, but to say the least, they look kinda dangerous. I think it's better if we don't mess with, as before anything can come about, a girl with a much more, let's just say, masochistic to say the least. I will explain why I sound mad, but more or less she would say, I wonder how much they can punch me, she would say to herself. Let's say that out loud. As one of them, specifically that of a woman with brownish hair, would say, oh, shut up, you masochist! As after saying that, she would do a darkness. As in darkness from Konosuba. Yeah. As one woman would come by, which seems to be their leader, as she would have white hair, and also that of goldenish eyes, as she would say, enough of this. Let's hurry up and get all of the information that we need, and let's go. As after saying this, they would start going out, or at least going doing their business. So we would go back to, as we currently see Izuku jumping to the rooftops following after Dogen, as Dogen would say, stop following. As before he can, Izuku would launch another attack, as he would launch off several blasts of Agi let me just double check. Several blasts of Agi, Bufu, and Zan. As while doing so, he would dodge every attack, but also still having damage from the attack that him and Todoroki did last time. As he would say, damn it, not only did my organization is gone, not only that, I got defeated by another kid! As while saying this, Izuku would think to himself, I'm gonna beat that asshole so hard that he's going to be seeing his ancestors! As while saying that to himself, he would start creating another elemental attack, or at least using another demon skill, as he would scream out, Severed Fate! As after saying this, several blasts of both, not both, but all four, I guess you can say, common elements, being that of fire, ice, electric, and force, aka wind, would rush towards him. After seeing this, he would try to get out of the way, but the blast would be so severe that it would basically make him jump up into the air thanks to the explosion. Doing so, he would slam against the wall nearby, by a nearby building, as he would fall down against the ground harshly. After doing so, Izuku would jump down towards where the building is, as he would start running up and trying to find Dogen. Currently with the Gessen squad, we currently see Minori basically riding on top of the back of top of the back of Pascal, or in this case, I'm just gonna call him, Mr. Nameless. As while doing so, she would say, "Oh, you're a pretty fast dog," she would say, as the dog, or the demon doggo would basically bark. As while doing so, one of them would say, "That isn't a normal dog, is he?" As said one of them, said they is a somewhat weirded out Katsuragi while still running. As Asuka would say, "What makes you think that? Maybe about the third eye and, armor on it?" As she would say, "Don't be so sarcastic." As while saying this, they would see a massive explosion nearby. As when Kiryu saw the explosion, he would say, "Still can't believe that's my son," he would say to himself. As while saying this, he would look below and would see Dogen, or at least a flash of Dogen basically being launched across the sky and slamming into the building. As he would say, "Come on, girls, let's go," he would say. As after saying this, the the rest of the rest of the of like the ninja girls and also Izuku's team would jump down. As when they arrived at the area where Dogen was launched at, they would see him now currently in pain. As you say, "Damn it! Why did I have to lose to some kid?" As before he can't say anything else, they would see Izuku as his eyes would be glowing, or at least one of his eyes would be glowing red, as you'd say. "Now, I'm so gonna beat your ass," he would say. As after saying that, another person would arrive. As they would hear the sound of I guess you could say an Apache helicopter nearby, as it would have the symbol of the Liberators, or more specifically, the Demon Liberators. As somebody would come out of there, specifically.
Wanted to have kids, so we're happy for her. But yeah, we're aunts too. And she also really wants a girl, but she keeps getting boys. Yeah, but we're not that old. Well, we'd like to. We're always like, "Oh my god, I'm so old," but people who are actually older than us would kill us if we said we were old. Yeah, we're gonna summon Damper. Damper's gonna be like, "Excuse me." God into Aki goes, "Unfortunately, no." He's playing hard to get. Your aunt's checks out. Is that another height joke? Yeah. I'm 7 feet tall. Yeah, I'm also 7 feet tall. And when we're long, we're 9 feet tall. Only Prince girls. Uncle said I was 11. I felt weird about it. Oh.
As a woman would appear, as the woman would jump down from the from the Apache helicopter. And by the way, sorry, I didn't mean to unpause that. Anyway, continue on. As she would jump down from the Apache helicopter, as it would be revealed to be a woman, as she would be wearing oddly shaped hoodie that's in the shape of like dog ears, or at least that's what they think. As she seems to be covering her face with a mask, a pink one to be more specific, with multiple belts and utility tools. As she would say, "It's been a while, Izuku," she would say. As Izuku would say, "Wait, Kyoka, what are you doing here?" As after hearing that, some of the girls, mostly that of, of mostly that of the ninja girls, would be jealous. And I mean most of them. As one of them, or at least one of his teammates, specifically that of Todoroki, would also be jealous. As Izuku would look at her, as you'd say, "Wait, what are you doing here exactly?" As she would say, "Oh, I'm here to go to grab this guy over here," she would say. As she would point to where Dogen is, currently battered and bruised. As she would say, "Now, bind," she would say, as she would bring up a crystal, as it would blast off, causing him to basically be bind to the ground, or bind to his legs and knees. After doing so, she would say, "Alright, boys," she would say, as several, random members of the Liberators would appear, as she would say, Alright, come in, she would say. As after saying that, another person would appear. As this person would be. And so this is where we're going to be ending off this episode. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so, bye-bye.